All right, today's show truly is a warning sign for every parent watching. We're going to meet these seemingly innocent 16-year-old identical twins. But in reality, they're not innocent. They're violent, they're destructive, and in fact, they're downright dangerous, especially to each other. Now, the moment we heard the extent and frequency of the twins' violence, we accelerated our process to get the whole family here. I feel they're in dire straits, so we got them here before something serious happened. Take a look.
Our 16-year-old identical twins are out of control. Drew and Dallas fight daily.
I hit your door and you go, right, try that again.
My brother and I, we fight probably a couple times a day.
No, you no. Get out of here. Get away from me.
Dallas talks to me like I'm a piece of trash. I egg him on because he's asking for it.
And then I said no.
And then you started flipping your
No.
Drew and Dallas have done damage to our home.
That's Dallas's door, bunch of holes in his walls in here. It's pretty much a mess.
They've ruined their furniture, graffitied their bedrooms.
The boys smoke marijuana for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
9 o'clock comes every single morning. My brother's busting down my door if it's locked. Hey, will you smoke me a bowl? I gotta go to work. I was standing by his door. He was yelling, I'm gonna knock you the out. And he's up in my face yelling, screaming at me. So I just hit him with a right hook and dropped him onto my stuff.
Drew and Dallas were both charged with domestic violence. I told the police arrest them and take them away.
Every day he'd go in my room, steal my pot. And it got to a point where, I bought a $40 lock from my door. Within 2 hours, he had jumped through my door, busted the whole door down, knocked himself out, cut his ear in half.
Our house is a time bomb ready to explode.
I feel like they may come in my room in the middle of the night and beat me in the head with a hammer.
I can't take it anymore.
You say the twins have broken bones, they've broken teeth. I mean, one of them got his teeth knocked out the other day, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
They've graffitied their room. They've knocked holes in the door. This is their room.
It's escalated to this.
This is a room at home.
Yes.
Okay, so where have y'all been? What have you been doing about it?
We called the police. I said, take them away. I can't handle this.
Are they in charge?
You get in the middle of them, you're gonna get knocked down and nothing's gonna happen. Our police don't take them away.
Okay,
They
so
don't
they're in
step
charge.
in. They're in charge of our house right now.
Okay, and you say you fear they could come in the middle of the night and smash your head in with a hammer.
Well, that's an example of a thought that has crossed my mind.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow, it's got this bad to where that thought entered my mind.
You say that the twins smoke marijuana for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
They do.
Yes.
And you know this? Because you told this to us.
Yes.
I've told them a million times that get that crap out of my house.
But you realize that they're how old?
16.
They'll be 17 next month.
And they drink. Mm-hmm. And you know it, and you say you know it. Mm-hmm. So do you worry about being charged with contributing to the delinquency of a minor?
Yes, I do.
You need to be.
I know that.
We are.
So they got high on mushrooms, you said. And Drew ran naked around the house and around the neighborhood, had to go to the ER for IV fluids. Dallas drank a fifth of Bacardi and got hit by a truck. Mm-hmm. Then you get a text from Drew, Dallas knocked my teeth out. So you call the cops. You say, just take him to jail. You say, Drew's broken his hand twice, both in fights. Mm-hmm.
And had surgery twice on both broken hands.
And you say, our house is a time bomb, and I admit to giving the twins what they want to keep the peace.
I have. What do I do? They refuse counseling. The police will not step in. What do I do? We thought about running away. We texted each other last week from work and said, let's get in the car. We've got a few $100s. Let's change our appearance. Let's just go start over. That's how bad it is. It might sound funny, but I'm desperate. I don't know what to do, and I can't get any help.
So there's drug paraphernalia all over the house.
They smoke it with their bedroom shut and the doors,
They
their
shut the door,
bedroom
open the
or they
window,
jump out
put
their
a fan
bedroom.
on.
Oh, well, problem solved then.
Yeah,
We
they-
were
they
gone.
think.
We
They
were
think.
gone, and they made marijuana brownies not too long ago. And he came home and said, wow, someone made brownies, and he ate one.
You caught Drew in your bed having sex with a girl.
Yes.
And so what do they say when you say this is not okay?
What are you doing? Get out. We confronted them both. Right then, right there. Get out.
And?
She got up and left. Bye.
Do dealers come to the house?
No. Not that I know of.
Ask your husband.
Yes, they have.
You're indignant?
I don't know. At this point, I'm pretty desperate. It's
It
gotta
sounds
stop.
to me like you'd say, well, just wait a second, I'll get Drew or I'll get Dallas.
Oh, heavens, no. And I'll say, this is my house. This is not fine. Leave my house now. And they don't, they just look at me like,
And
And
then
Dallas
what do you
goes,
do?
come on, let's go.
Then what do you do?
I grab the phone and say, I'm gonna call the cops, and they leave.
Well,
And
I'll
we-
tell you what, we're going to hear what the twins have to say about all this. Take a look.
I think the main problem in my household is Drew's anger problems.
He comes in, give me that, rips it out of my hand.
I truly don't think I'm an angry person. Drew's threatened to kill me, he's threatened to stomp me, he's threatened to break every single thing I have. The last time I broke my hand, my brother and I had got into an argument and I ended up punching him in the back of the head. I think he's jealous of me, but I also think that's not my problem. I feel that since he started hanging out with his best friend, his attitude's rubbed off on him. He thinks everything's a competition between me and him. I've been in a lot of fights. My brother was just the one who was there with me, you know, getting my back. He thinks that I can beat his ass. I don't want to beat his ass. I know I can. When Dallas drinks, he drinks to get drunk. My brother calls me, hey, dude, think you could bring me my stuff? And I drove up to where he was, and sure enough, here comes my brother stumbling down the middle of the road. He just freaked out, and he started punching the side of my truck. I'm yelling, I told you let me in this freaking cab. So I left, and I went straight home. I ended up having to walk home and got hit by a truck. That was partially my brother's fault. If my brother didn't have his anger problems, he would have drove me home that night.
The violence and anger has just got to end.
I'm afraid that Drew or Dallas are gonna end up dead.
You get in fights with each other. You're wrecking cars, smoking dope, putting graffiti in your room, ignoring your parents. What the hell are you thinking?
All right, when I get home from work, you know, first thing they tell me to do, pick up the clothes, you know, that maybe they had washed for me, you know, so they're sitting out in the living room. They wanted me to go hang them up, but they're hounding me. Get your clothes done. I need to eat something, take a shower, then I'm gonna do it, you know.
But is it still there the next morning a lot of times?
Sometimes, but it's because
Honestly,
I forget about
are we
it.
talking about whether he picks up his T-shirt or not? Is that what we're here to talk about?
No.
Honest to God, I mean, come on, guys. You can't be that clueless. We're really going to spend time talking about whether he picked, because that's what he wants to do. Like they nag me when I get home about picking up my stuff. So, Dr. Phil, let's spend some time talking about that, so we don't spend time talking about the fact that I violently attacked my brother, that I knocked doors down throughout the house, that I painted graffiti in my room, wrecked the car, do drugs illegally every day. Let's talk about picking up my T-shirt so we don't have to talk about that stuff. Come on! Do you not see deflection here when it happens?
Yes.
You just, let's not talk about picking up your T-shirt. Let's talk about you smoking dope every day, all day.
Yeah, okay.
All right, let's talk about that. What's your theory about how that's okay?
I do it because it's my choice. I mean, someday I'll move on and I'll
It isn't
probably
your
quit.
choice. You're 16. It's illegal. It's against the law.
Okay, then whose choice is it? My parents, they tell me I can't smoke. Okay.
That's right, because they're your parents and they're
Yeah.
responsible for you, and it's against the law.
Okay. I mean, not to be disrespectful, but you know how many people are out there smoking anyways?
Do you know how many people are sitting in that chair right now?
Yeah,
You.
yeah,
So I don't care about everybody out on the street. I'm talking about you and you.
okay.
So I'm waiting for your theory about how it's okay.
I'm gonna do it because I like it.
Because we want to. I choose to sit in my room and smoke marijuana.
Do you guys see what you're doing to us?
The marijuana isn't what
Have you
makes us
seen
fight.
my house?
That usually is because you invade his privacy and break his door down or enter his room to get what you want.
I
And
know.
he's still asleep, and he's not a morning guy. He's like me. I don't want to be hassled or talked to a lot the second I climb out of bed.
Let me get my bearings here, because I'm just so country boy, and I don't move as fast as everybody else here. We're talking about the fact that he's not a morning person.
Right.
And he should respect that. And let me talk, let me be sure I got it down right here. Because what actually happened that you boil down to, now you need to know he's not a morning person, is that you got up that morning and you wanted some dope. And you didn't have any, and it was in his room, so you go banging on the door and break the door down to get in, and then you knock his teeth out because of that.
But that's not how it goes.
He's just not morning people. You're right about that.
Well, we put everything together. It doesn't happen like that. My bong was out in the cold shed that I didn't want to walk out to. I had my own marijuana, so I walked in his room and grabbed it.
Oh, well, that...
Quietly.
Okay, well, that explains it.
I didn't knock his door down. I didn't have to knock, you know?
So you had no choice but to go get his off the shelf. Okay, well, now I get it. So you knock his teeth out.
Yeah, it didn't happen that way. Let's see, when I got my teeth knocked out that morning, let's see, I went in his bedroom. Or no, I had already been punched.
Why had he been punched?
Because he told me he was gonna knock me the out, so I told him to do it.
Okay.
And then he did it.
Okay,
He punched me in the face, and I made fun of him.
Hang on a second, hang on a second. Now, you may not respect their house, but you will respect mine, and do not use that language in front of my audience. You understand? You want to try me, that's the easy way to do it. You don't disrespect these people. You got it?
I got it.
All right, we're going to take a break. Teresa says the twins refuse to go to counseling. Dan says he isn't good at punishing. So we're going to find about all the mistakes the parents may be making, and I'm going to show you how to make sure you're not setting yourself up to wind up right here in this circumstance.
I've caught Drew in the act more than once in my house.
Last year, I was having sex on their bed. He comes walking down the hall, the door was open.
I came home and Drew and his girlfriend were actually in my bed going at it.
Didn't even hear him come in.
I told him to get up, get all the sheets and blankets off the bed and get him in the washer now.
Well, that was Dan talking about the time he caught his teenage son in the master bedroom with a girl. Now, he and his wife, Teresa, say these kids are just out of control. They don't know what to do. I'm here with all of them. Twins, Drew and Dallas. Why his bed?
Because I had a bunk bed at the time, and I couldn't, you know, I didn't like to hit my back on the metal bars. And she didn't like to either.
Okay. Why do you object to your brother having friends?
I don't like the kid he hangs out with, and the kid starts coming over every single day, staying the night, every single day, eating our food for lunch, breakfast, dinner, and it's okay because he drives Dallas around a little bit.
Does he like your friends?
Dallas? I don't have friends.
Why do you not have friends?
I don't know. I don't like to go hang out with people.
You do too. You're overwhelming for your friends, and you want friends. And you want him to be your best friend. That's the problem.
I want him.
I know you want him. He doesn't want you.
Do you
That's
not?
why counseling.
Do you not like your brother?
I like my brother.
It's your anger, Drew, that gets him
Oh,
mad.
please, mother, please.
I yell at him
It
when
is.
he's calling me. He eggs me
Hey,
on.
you
Oh,
gotta
I'm sorry.
stop
I have bad
language.
mouth.
Yes.
You know, I don't have anger problems. I let it out when I need to, or when I feel it's an expression. It's not an emotion for me. It's an expression. I show that I'm angry because he's made it that way for me.
How
He does that to me.
He's hurt you.
Yeah, he makes me shake and freak out. Like how much anger he makes me have, I can't control it. He's the ticking time bomb with his attitude.
What is it like?
I don't know, instantly come to my room, hey, smoke me out right now, I gotta go to work, smoke me out right now. It's like, no, I'm not gonna smoke you out. If you wanna smoke, get your own stuff, you know? And then since I said no, then he's gonna start throwing a flip. Like, fine, you're never smoking my stuff, you're never touching this again, you know? I don't know, and it, you know, I'm not.
So you're fighting over drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
Smoking pot doesn't bring me down at all. I mean, I'm moving on. I've got my job in school. I've never missed a credit. 3.5 or above student since I've been in elementary school. You know, big deal. I smoke a little pot. Don't bug me about it. It's on my own time. Leave me alone.
Why are you crying?
I'm not proud of being a pot smoker. I don't want all my friends to watch this TV show and see me crying and talking about how much pot I smoke. I'm not proud of it.
Why do you do it?
Because I like it. I might not be proud of it, but, you know, that's why I try not to do it around some people, you know. I don't know. I wouldn't be up here smoking. You know, I didn't bring stuff with me in California.
How about you? What?
I just feel hurt. Being here talking about our problems. I like to walk past my problems and just ignore them like they're not there.
Do you care at all what impact your choices and behaviors are having on your parents? Do you care at all?
No, I don't feel my choices have an impact on them unless maybe I hit a fence like this guy did or something that may cost them money. Me smoking pot with not getting caught by the law or anything, that doesn't affect them.
I'm talking about the fact that they are so stressed out to the point that they just want to run away, that it's eating them alive. The house is chaotic. Do you agree the house is chaotic?
Yeah, it's the screaming and yelling, not the violence. Before him hitting me, when was the last time that happened? I don't know.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you. We're the same age. He looks like me. Has the same friends as me. You live with yourself.
But this is like it's.
Tell me you wouldn't hate that.
No, I do not want to live with Dr. Phil. I don't. All right, we're going to take a break. Next, whenever you have one member of family who's out of control, they impact everybody. They affect all the other members of the family.
I can't be treated this way anymore.
I don't know how much longer my wife can take it.
I cannot have my house wrecked any longer.
I seem to have lost control of my house, and I need help getting it back.
Well, we're talking with Dan and Teresa, who say they've just lost control of their 16-year-old twins, Drew and Dallas. And you guys say, we just do what we want to do because we want to do it, and it's nobody's business but ours, right? Mm-hmm. You know you can go to jail for illegal drugs, right?
Yeah, but I plan on quitting that one day. I mean, I may do it now, but I'm not in jail, am I? I'm on Dr. Phil.
Yeah.
I need you to quit now.
All right, I've got a timeline of the twins' behavior, because you say this stuff just happens ever so often. But in 2006, you vandalized an empty house. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you were how old at that time?
I was in 6th grade. No, 6th and 7th grade.
It was a neighbor's house, right?
Yeah.
And he
And
made you mad.
That neighbor whitewashed me, and you know what? He moved, and you know what? I thought that was payback.
So you went and vandalized his house?
Yeah.
Well, see, you say that like, well, yes, of course I did. I didn't like him, so I went and destroyed
Yeah, I know
private
it was
property.
wrong. I know it was wrong, and it was.
But you
I
know
don't
that's
go
a
out and
crime.
graffiti anymore.
It's a crime.
Yeah, do I do it anymore? No.
I don't know.
Yeah, when was the last time I did
2007,
graffiti?
Drew breaks his hand fighting a kid at camp, right?
Kid punched me in the face. I warned him if he did it again, I'd beat his ass, and he did it again.
So 08, you guys start smoking pot in 08, right? So it's been 3-4 years, or was it before that?
08's when we first started, and then we quit for 2 years until 9th grade summer.
2010, Dan catches Drew having sex in his bed. June 11, Dallas charged with reckless driving and hit and run. You left the scene?
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, it was my first wreck. I didn't know what to do. I just left. I mean, it was wrong, but you know, next time I won't.
So you lose your license, and there's $10,000 in fees and damages.
Yeah.
You
You know,
just-
I know. I put them out of some money for now. You know, they're getting it back slowly.
So you destroyed the fender on the car, and then in August of 11, you back into a moving car, $2,700 in damages. Then you break your hand punching Dallas. That's the second time you broke your hand?
Yeah.
No, you didn't break
That's
your
like-
hand punching me.
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
No,
I
he
did.
didn't.
Yeah, I
He
did. I had
when
to
he
have pins
surgery
put
the
in,
second
Dallas.
time, yes.
Maybe. No.
Dallas.
He did.
I punched you in the back of the head when you were on the ground, and I had pins put in my hand. Surgery. That's obviously a broken hand.
Then all right. Yeah. Then you broke your hand.
Well, don't get in a fight about it now. Then September 11, Dallas and Drew get high from illegal mushrooms. Drew, you have to go to the hospital, right? New Year's Eve, 2011, Drew gets driven home by someone that didn't even have a driver's license. January, Dallas knocks out a boy in gym class.
Yeah.
So then you've broken down his bedroom door twice, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And then you got hit by a truck.
Yeah.
And then you're admitted to the hospital for alcohol poisoning?
I went to the hospital because I got hit by a truck.
No,
Yeah,
that's
no.
not
You were
the reason at all.
unresponsive.
No, they
and
took me to the
shallow
hospital.
breathing, Dallas. You
Shallow
were
breathing.
awake.
It was shallow breathing because I got hit by a truck.
No.
I was walking home. I was completely fine that night. I might have killed a fifth and had too much alcohol, but did I get alcohol poisoning? No.
You did.
Am I ever gonna drink that much again? No.
But are you ever going to drink again? Yeah.
We'll see.
You just told me.
I
What do you
didn't
mean
say
you were
yeah,
fine?
I said we'll see.
You said you may have killed a fifth?
Yeah, I killed a fifth of vodka. Yes.
151 proof.
And how much does he weigh? 130?
No, actually, it wasn't 151 proof. It was 80 proof.
Well,
I'm just saying.
Dan and I were gone to a funeral, and while we were gone, Drew and Dallas ate an overdose of hallucinogenic mushrooms.
He was completely gone. My heart rate dropped to like 41 beats per second or something. I'm holding him, shake his face, get him looking at eye contact. He's,
Dan and I drove 7 hours back home straight to the hospital. We found Drew in the hospital bed.
Well, that was Drew and Dallas talking about the night Drew went to the hospital after taking illegal drugs. These were mushrooms. Now, their parents, Dan and Teresa, say they're actually afraid to live in the same house at this point because the twins are so violent and out of control that they've actually thought about just running away. Do y'all get that all of this affects your family? And I wanted to show you something here. And you guys think, you just do what you want to do because you want to do it. And you think, that's just me. That's just me. I'm just out here, and that's just me. But what you don't understand is your relationship with each other, then two of you are together. But then when you two start fighting, it creates absolute chaos in the house. Every member of the house is affected. Everybody's moving. This one affects this one. This one affects this one. This one affects this one. And what you get is absolute chaos. And that's what your house is like, right?
Yes.
And you two think, well, no, it's just us. We can get out here and just do what we want to do. But that's just simply not right. Everybody affects everybody else. And you wind up with chaos, which is exactly what you've got here. Nobody in a family can move without affecting the other people in the family. Everything interacts. Do y'all get what I'm saying?
oh, yeah.
Yes.
And you enable these kids. I mean, both of you allow them to smoke pot. You have made the decision that that's okay. You make empty threats. You say yourself, you're not good at it. You're not good at punishing. You threaten to take the keys and the cell phone, but you never do. They know you don't.
I have, but it gets worse with people yelling and pissed off, and I get tired of listening to it.
So you cave.
I'll
We
cave
cave
in.
because someone's going to get hurt, and I'm going to
Occasionally.
spend the whole night at the hospital again. I work. I don't have time to spend at the dentist and the hospital
Hey,
all
they're
the
your
time.
kids.
I don't know what to do. It has to stop.
They think it doesn't have any effect on you. There's just no problem. They're fine. They do what they want to do. It's their life. They do it. Have y'all ever heard the word empathy?
We went over the definition of that in health like a couple weeks ago.
In health a couple weeks ago?
Empathy is like a feeling of, you can feel what someone else is feeling or something like that, isn't it?
That's close. It means you have the ability, the sensitivity, the maturity to say, I can understand and relate to how they feel. And it means if your mother is frantic and just so overwrought and upset because of whatever it might be, if you were empathetic with her, you could understand how she felt. And with that comes a measure of caring, that you care what the impact is on your mother or your father. If you had empathy for your brother, you would know that there are certain things that really hurt him.
I have empathy for everybody. I know what hurts and
And so if you did, unless you're just trying to be mean and hurtful,
That's exactly what it
then
is.
you wouldn't do things that would cause pain in somebody that you love and care about.
Yeah, I do it because he's hurt me. So, I don't know, giving it back, yeah.
Yeah, so that's a very reactive mode. That's not a very mature mode. You know, a mature mode might be to sit down and have a conversation where you said, look, when you do this, it really hurts me, so I'm going to ask you not to do that. And if there are things that I do that hurt you, then I want you to tell me. And we're going to try to be more mature and grow in this relationship so it doesn't get to the point where we're so frustrated, so angry that we just want to knock the door down or want to hit each other or call each other names. And one thing we know is that your brains aren't through growing yet. They'll grow until you're 25. And the last part of it that grows is the part that helps you predict the consequences of your actions. And there are certain things you can't see, which is why you have to rely on your parents to do that. If you knew what I knew about smoking as much dope as you're smoking at your age, you would probably throw up right now.
Well, I know it's
Because
bad
it
for me.
changes the neurology in your brain. And I know you don't believe that,
Yeah, I know.
but I have a bachelor's, master's, and PhD, and I spent an awful lot of time on brain and central nervous system, and I do know that. And I do read the research. I do know the studies, and you're just wrong.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, I'll be happy to.
I am wrong. All right, big deal.
I'm sorry? What'd you say?
Said I am wrong, big deal.
Well, it is a big deal. See, this is where the part comes in where it's hard for you to understand the consequences of your choices. You say big deal. It isn't a big deal to you right now, but it can be a big deal to you later when you go, wow, I wish I hadn't done some of the things that I've done. We're all in that situation at some point or another. You just hope that somebody's there to contain you and move you forward. Well, I'm back with Teresa, Dan, Drew, and Dallas. And I'm really curious. Do you think you have any responsibility in the fact that this family is chaotic?
No, I don't.
He points at my anger problems.
So it's just if we could calm him down.
Yeah, I think if he didn't flip out about every little thing, there'd be nothing wrong with us.
But isn't a little thing.
You guys want to do an experiment with me?
Yeah.
Okay, I want you guys to stand right here and face each other. Stand right here. You're here. You're good. You're right here. I want you to face each other. Okay, now I want you to look each other in the eye and don't look away. And Drew, I want you to tell your brother what you say to yourself after he has called you names and pushed you away. So I want you to tell him what you think and feel.
It hurts me. I don't like it at all, and I want it to stop.
Tell him how it hurts you.
First kid to ever punch me in the face made that name up, and I don't like it. It makes me think of that.
Dallas, look at him. Is that what you want him to feel? I mean, do you want him to go say, okay, I remember now that kid bullied me and hurt me, and now my brother's doing it? I mean, is that your goal? Is that what you want him to feel?
When I say it, yeah, that's how I want him to feel. Because I think he deserves it
Look him in
when
the
I
eye.
say it.
How do you want him to feel about himself overall?
I think you should feel good about himself. Be proud of yourself.
You ever done anything to him you're sorry for? You ever sorry for hurting his feelings?
No.
You just don't care. Because at the time, he deserves it.
I don't feel I hurt his feelings. I feel he hurt them himself. Doesn't matter what other people think about you.
I know.
So why do you let the name bug you?
It doesn't bug me. It hurts me on the inside, and there's nothing I can do about it. The subject, I don't know how many times I've displayed it to you. The subject hurts me.
Do you care that this is painful for him?
Why would I care?
Because he's experiencing pain when he talks about it.
I'm experiencing pain.
I didn't ask about you, I asked about him.
Okay. I don't know.
Do you wish he was happy and self-confident instead of vulnerable and painful?
Yeah, I wish he was confident about himself and wasn't so jealous of my friends. Doesn't matter how many friends I have and how many friends you have.
I'm not jealous of your friends. It pisses me off when people tell me that, because I'm not.
Okay.
I have my own. I don't only have one friend. I have one friend that I enjoy to go over to his house. The rest of them I hate. I don't like people.
So you disrespect my friends?
I don't like them.
So?
They
Then don't
disrespect
talk
me in
to
my
them.
own household.
No, they
because
don't.
Your attitude, how you treat me, they think they can.
Well, you know, sometimes when I got my friends in my room,
Well,
stay out.
It doesn't matter if I stay out. I'm still your piece of brother. Yeah.
Well, because you know why you are? Because you're throwing a fit the whole time my friends are over.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
Jealous. True, you're jealous.
I'm not jealous.
You want Dallas to yourself. You do. You do.
I don't want his friends staying the night every night because there's no
Because
need
you
of
want
it.
to be with him all the time. Is
No,
that
I'd
not
like
right?
to see my brother alone every once in a while.
Okay, I'm getting ready to send you guys off. Do you have any questions for me?
I'd like to get your autograph after the show.
Get your autograph after the show.
AJ, if you would take these two for me, please. Let them spend some time together. Do you have any questions for me?
Can you help him?
No, I can't. I can't help them.
Can you help us?
I can help this family,
Yeah.
but the problem is not them. And real seriously, I want y'all to hear what I'm saying now. And it's not too late for these boys. They're both intelligent, and they're both articulate, and they're both damaged. Drew is in a lot of pain, and it expresses in anger, but it's just below the surface. And he wants more than anything to be accepted by his brother. But his brother is kind of moving away from him because he finds his brother to be kind of needy.
Yes.
And he has kind of a cool and aloof way of dealing with things. You know, are you sorry when you say things that you know hurt your brother? Nah. Nah. He's being honest. He's just telling you at that point, I'm being honest. The biggest problem those boys have got is you. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be ugly or rude. The time for you to have intervened with these boys and made certain that you got them to respect authority and respect boundaries and respect themselves was when they were 3, 4, and 5 years old. And two things need to happen. I think they are on the cusp of serious problems in their lives. And what I would do is I would take the opportunity to put both of them in separate schools somewhere, away from the two of you and away from each other at this point. I would put them in a residential therapeutic school at this point. And while they were gone, I would work the two of you so hard on redefining your definition of parenting and boundaries and, you know, setting an environment for these kids to return to, that you would do as much work as they did while they were gone. You have allowed this to advance to the point that it is now beyond the ability to fix in the home. They've got to go outside the home. and they're very likely to resist that.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to make that available to you, but the parents have to be out of the loop. That's the only way that it works. They need to be in a highly structured, controlled environment. If not, I would predict both of them are going to wind up in prison.
Yes.
Because they have no respect for boundaries, they have no respect for authorities. And this is our gift to your family. But you have to do the work while they're gone. When they get there, the success rate is incredibly high. And when they're gone, you got to figure out how we're going to have to completely redefine this.
We're more than happy to do that, Dr. Phil.
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.